Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, we've got a very special video for you. We are on a field trip out here at Ox Ranch, drivetanks.com here in the beautiful Uvalde, Texas. And they've allowed us to commandeer their museum here and show off some really cool hardware. Today, we're going to be talking about the PKM. Now, this is a really interesting machine gun. A couple of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of you guys out there that are vets, and there's probably been a lot of you that have been on the receiving end of this machine gun, so probably don't like it too much for that reason, but from an engineering standpoint, it is a really, really special piece of hardware. It is a great general purpose light machine gun, arguably one of the best light machine guns on this entire planet. In a lot of ways, even better than the 240 Bravo, 249 series by far. There's several features that set this gun apart from a lot of other machine guns that are out there. Now, it is belt fed. Now here, these are dummy rounds, obviously. We're not going to load this thing in the building, but we do have a dummy belt to show you. Very, very sturdy belts that retain the pull-through starter tab. Okay, it's a really interesting system because it's really like an upside-down AK-47. All right, the piston and everything is housed right here. It's got an adjustable gas system, which is really nice. And the neat thing is a lot of things on this gun can be manipulated simply with a cartridge case. Okay, so I can manipulate the gas system, adjust the gas system with just a simple cartridge case. It's got a reasonably heavy barrel. It is a quick change barrel that can be changed out. Now, one of the really interesting ways that this gun sets apart is the feed tray cover. Okay, the way that the feed tray cover on this thing is designed, okay, is it's very simplistic, and it's a stamped housing, and you see that there's not a whole heck of a lot of stuff going on this gun, right, in terms of the feed tray mechanism. When you look in a 240 Bravo, when you look in a 249, a lot of modern machine guns have all that feed tray claw mechanism and this whole thing that slides around and moves around to move the belts along. And the PKM, all you really have is a cartridge advancing strip here, and you've got one that keeps the belt from falling out of the gun. Okay, pretty simple. What sets the PKM apart is when you pull the bolt to the rear on this thing, it actually strips the cartridge off of the belt and pulls it back to put in the chamber. Okay, so it strips back, gets pushed down in the chamber by this arm up here. It's a really simple machine gun design. Okay, it is a stamped receiver, lots of simplicity. It is cheaply made, as most comm block weaponry is. Obviously, this is a Russian machine gun, and this is a real deal Russian PKM, a real one. But it's a really neat setup. Everything on it is very intuitive, very easy to use. The ejection on the PKM is extremely stout and gnarly. I mean, this thing absolutely kicks the shells out ridiculously hard and fast. It's got a ridiculous rate of fire, and those shells are just popping out of this ejection port. It will hit your shoulder and your arm, well, primarily your arm. If you got your arm sticking out a long way, it will pelt you with brass. It can physically harm you in that regard. Left-handed shooters, not really so much of a problem because less of your body is exposed on this side if you're a left-handed shooter, but that's just something to consider. If you ever shoot a PKM, be really mindful of that brass popping out of there, because it gets out of there with a very, very strong amount of force coming out of this ejection port. Okay, right there. And they come out of there with a lot of power and a lot of force. But these guns have stood up fairly well over the years. They will basically shoot themselves to death over time. They don't really have the longevity of some machine gun designs, but as a functional, mass-produced machine gun, it's arguably one of the best. It does what it does really well. It's very functional. And of course, the 54R, I mean, this cartridge has been in service since 1891. Wrap your minds around that for a second. You've got a cartridge that was designed in 1891, if not a year or so prior, still in military use. 7.62x54 remains the longest serving military cartridge that we have on today's battlefield. Okay, so it's a long serving cartridge. It's been around a very long time, and the 54R is not going away. There are so many millions and millions, if not billions, of rounds of this ammo still all around the world. It's everywhere, and it's still widely in use. So yeah, let's take this gun out and shoot some belts out of it, have a little bit of fun. I wanted to sort of just briefly discuss some things about the PKM. I think it's a great gun. Barrel change, okay? You've got a wedge in here, okay, that can be pushed out with a cartridge case to change the barrel, and this also controls your headspace, okay? So if the gun starts to develop some sloppy headspace, just change to a different wedge, check it, bam, you're good to go. But this wedge also has to come out for the barrel change, all right? And see, I can actually push this just with my finger. Now, it has a cartridge notch in case this thing is smoldering hot, you don't burn your fingers. So you grab a cartridge case, slide the wedge out, and the barrel pops out. Really, really cool stuff. And you can see a very simplistic type of design. It's not overly complicated. Let's shoot it. All right, we're gonna run the PKM a bit for you. Good stuff. All right, we see that we've got the first round inside of the claw. All we have to do is close the feed tray cover. Gun's ready. I'm gonna shoot it from the shoulder because I'm an animal like that. Let's do it. Yeah, buddy. Nice thing about this gun, now you don't see it, but I can actually use it almost like its own tripod. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, we're gonna take another belt. Savage! I hope you guys are having fun too, because I know I am. I can see why this is such a a machine gun held in such high regard. Really cool stuff, guys. Thanks for watching today's video. This thing's hot. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to thank the folks at Ox Ranch Drive Tanks for letting me come out and check out this PKM. Woo! You gotta be a man to carry this around, buddy. A lot of firepower. Nothing like 54R going down range. Woo! Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.